Hi, and welcome to the Celestial Tea Podcast.
I'm Love.
And I'm Tylen.
And we're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and witches serving up the cosmic tea about your favorite celebrities, musicians, and artists.
As always, if you enjoy our hot takes and breakdowns, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you stream, share with your friends and fam, and follow us on all the socials.
So if you're a pop culture baddie, tune in, get your cup of tea, and get ready to sip from the stars. Yo,
Welcome
what's
back.
up? Here's my cup.
Yes, you gotta get the tea.
The tea is...
One you're excited for.
The tea, yes,
For
the
sure.
tea is a Prince of Darkness. The tea...
Like
The earthly
Prince
realm,
of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. The
Yeah.
tea is an original reality star show. I don't
More
know.
than that, the fucking one of the original rock stars. Like
I mean, the Prince of Darkness, I feel, is
Yeah.
pretty explanatory for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we are covering Ozzy Osbourne, our first posthumous celebrity, which I'm excited to do more of because, as you were saying, Tylen, we'll be able to look at their chart, and because their life is complete, look at certain impactful moments and transits in their chart. And so we're going to not only look at his chart, but look at some really pivotal pieces in his life and see what was transiting in his chart during that time, which will be really fun because they're all fucking shenanigans.
Yes. I mean, his chart is shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the truth is, we don't have his exact confirmed birth time, but we do have a time that is floating around on the internet that most people agree on. And pulling up the chart, I'm like, hell yeah, this makes total sense. I knew this man was a water sign.
Rising. Yeah.
Rising.
Yeah.
But
Intensity, right?
yes. So I was going to guess either Scorpio or Pisces rising, just with his
Physical
history,
appearance,
his
too.
physical appearance and his history with substances and the abuse of substances.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with this chart, it pulls up Scorpio rising. So he's Scorpio rising, Sag sun, and Capricorn moon.
What a mix.
It's so interesting how many celebrities we've done that have had the Scorpio rising and the Cap moon.
Yes.
That's an interesting trend.
We
we're
need to
starting
start writing
see.
this shit down.
Yeah.
So that we should create a catalog of all of the celebrities and their placements, and then we can be in the Excel doo, doo, doo.
I think it's because with Scorpio rising, your 10th house is Leo. So Leo is the performer,
taking up
wants
space,
to be
feeling
in the
comfortable
spotlight.
doing that. Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense. And I also feel like the Scorpio rising is alluring, it's magnetic,
Yes.
there's a je ne sais quoi that cannot be replicated in some kind of way. And people sex sells, so it's being sexy in some kind of seductive or whatever. And it's not necessarily that you might try to do that. I just know if you haven't if you're a Scorpio rising, or if you have personal planets in Scorpio, people tend to just sexualize scorpionic the Mars ruled placements, Aries and Scorpio, to get sexualized just for being themselves. They're not trying to be sexy, but people are that's sexy AF, and it's I'm literally just walking.
Yes. But there is an embodiment of a certain level of intensity, and that is what is both alluring and also triggering. And I think just seeing it as a trend for celebrities, I think what it really is that Scorpio risings as souls, y'all have chosen the experience of a lifetime where you're here to be the embodiment of transformation. And so that means that your soul moves through multitudes of challenges, difficulty, which ultimately creates resiliency. That's why we see the scorpionic shell is hardened and has the capacity to fight through all of the pain that can come up from
celebrity
putting yourself out, right? To be a celebrity is very dense work, both on a physical level, right? Going out to do the tours and making the music, the emotional work, receiving all of that feedback all the time, feeling on with this, and this, the mental work, right? And also the spiritual work to be able to put yourself at that level and fully embrace it. So I do think that Scorpionic people, Scorpio risings, do have this coding to really embrace that role to the fullest.
And I also feel like with Mars being the ruler, like motivation, drive, determination, like all these pieces.
100%.
And then having a Cap moon, I feel like is the same kind of vibe because Capricorn is very motivated and driven.
Yes.
And like actually like gets shit done type of motivated and driven because of the Saturn being the ruler. And having that in your emotions also, I think, like, kind of, like, bolsters what that point you were making about, like, the intensity of celebrity.
Yeah.
And being able to, like, either continue to push through it or, like, work with it. Or I feel like, I know the moon is considered, like, in detriment in Capricorn, right? So it's, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like all the Capricorn moon people I know are, like, high achievers. Like, I know it's not considered a good placement, but I'm like, these people seem to be thriving, so...
I think I said this with Haley Steinfeld, because she has a Capricorn moon, and...
She's a, like, singer and an actress. Like, it's like, girl...
Where it's sort of this feeling state where they are ancient souls, and they don't allow their emotions to bog them down. They have these internalized structures for moving through emotions.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was seeing
really
is like
good at work.
Pulling all of the like density down and just like getting rid of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're emotionally nourished by their work. They're emotionally nourished by the legacy that they're leaving behind. That's Capricorn frequency.
And I feel like in our capitalistic society, like that placement would be like preferred for like thinking of like Ozzy Osbourne, like preferred for like a manager or someone, because like they're not gonna be like the emotional artist, just like I can't perform, like I'm not feeling it. It's like they're just gonna be like, fuck it, let's go, you know?
Yes. And that gives them then the ability to keep going. Whereas I think we're talking about with Taylor Swift having the Cancer moon.
Yeah.
Needing a lot of that time to process. And we literally see that with her music.
Yeah.
All of the time processing through the emotions.
Yes.
Whereas I feel like Ozzy with his music, a lot of it was done intentionally for his legacy as the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
So,
and like for Black Sabbath, like his bassist wrote like a lot of the lyrics, so it's like something to think about too, is that he might not have been the one like crafting. His bassist was the one that was really into the occult stuff.
Okay.
I feel like in Ozzy Osbourne fashion, it's like he's interested in the occult because of the scorpionic placements that he has but Scorpio rules over the house of the occult, the 8th house, and like they have this like more intuitive or instinctual knowing about the occult. And I feel like him having the Sagittarius sun too, it's like Sag is kind of like la la la, things will work out for me. So I feel like he approached it more from that end, where like maybe it was really occult or very magical, or but like he wasn't like super like consciously like I'm studying this and I'm going about this.
Okay, so I'm someone who I don't know so much about Ozzy. Love was really excited to do this episode.
Is my suggestion.
I'm curious then, because he did get separated from Black Sabbath, and we're going to talk about the dates, the transit dates for that. But then when he came out with his own album, did he write all of that then? Or did he...
Ooh, I don't know. I'm assuming. Let me see.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I feel like with the Capricorn moon, there is a level of intentionality with the emotions, with the realms of the unconscious, again, for the legacy that you are crafting.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wrote and contributed significantly in both Black Sabbath and his solo career. He co-wrote a lot of his songs. So maybe it's like he brought ideas or things, but he wasn't like the full like writer.
Yeah, creating the structure probably was a gift that he had.
Yeah, he was known for developing vocal melodies, improvising over instrumental riffs, and providing lyrical concepts or altering lyrics. So yeah, he wasn't a writer, but he had like a vision or like a sound that he wanted to work with, type of thing.
Yes.
And then he didn't always write the instruments either, but he like sometimes put like instrumental like pieces in there.
I can see him having the gift too of the bigger picture, because he is a Sagittarius sun and he has Mercury also here, and Mercury is considered to be in detriment in Sagittarius because Mercury is at home both in Virgo and Gemini. Sagittarius is opposite. And so with Mercury and Sagittarius, your mind is then attuned to those bigger picture qualities. So when it comes to writing the music, yeah, I'm just getting this feeling that he probably did get like the melody come through.
Yeah.
The bigger picture.
Or he's like, that doesn't sound right, do this.
And I'm kind of seeing it like the Capricorn moon providing the structure state. So it's like, here's the melody, here is the a little bit of the vocals, here's a little bit of the strings here, and then just sort of weaving it all together with that bird's eye bigger picture view.
And then like the lyrical like content, like, oh, like he was like, write a song about Crowley, write a song, you know, let's write the song about Black Sabbath because of the infamous like missing occult book story.
Yes.
So like he was giving a lot of that vision. And it's funny because his human design kind of goes with what we were talking about. He's a manifesting generator, so he is interested in a lot of things, here to do many things, right? He's not just known for being in one band, he's known for being in many bands. He's known for his reality TV show, he's known for his marriage, like he's known for his genetic mutation that he has, like he's known for like bringing a cult like satanic panic vibes, for ripping, you know, a bat's head off, like literally a live bat on stage. Like he's dabbled in many different things. And then he's a 6'2". So the 6'2" is known as the exemplary human. So the 6 lines are until their Saturn return, or from 0 to 29 until their Saturn return. They operate as a 3 line. So they're experimenting, learning as they go, figuring things out. Then after they turn 29, which we have a actual date, a significant event for the Saturn return. Yeah. They just get to be themselves. Like their job is, their 6 line is called the role model. So like he literally is just like, I'm showing, like on the show, like on the reality show, I watched some episodes. I didn't watch every single episode, but I watched a lot. Like he's just like vibing. He's just like, where the fuck am I? I don't fucking know. Like what's going on? Like he's just doing, he's himself. He's like, I'm not gonna put, you know, like I'm not gonna pretend that I'm doing this or that because there's cameras here. So he's a role model. Like people love him for him, right? Like he literally is called the Prince of Darkness. Like it's not very common, I feel, where celebrities or musicians become like that big in that kind of way, where they're like a household name and they're instilling fear in people and they're inspiring people and like all these different things. And he's also funny too.
That's that Sag energy.
Yeah, he's so Sag energy. There's some like good memes that I've seen of astrology stuff from his reality show. You know when they make like the this is this placement, this is this placement, this Sag, because I have Sag rising, so it's like him just like, he's like, oh, I'm cooking, and then he like puts the like toast or whatever, and then it burns, and he's like, the alarm is like blaring, and it's just like him just watching TV, and he doesn't hear the alarm blaring, and then like he starts smelling this one, he's like, oh fuck, I like burned my shit. It's so funny. And then the 2 line is basically like the native like genius. Like the 2 line people are just naturally good at things. They just wake up and they're like, I wonder, like your 2 line friend is like the person who's like, you're at the paint night and they're like, I don't know, I've never tried this before, like it's probably gonna be shitty, and then it's like, they're like, yeah, it's kind of like unfinished, and then like it's better than everyone else's, and you're like, how did you do that? And they're like, I don't know, it's okay, I guess. Like that's definitely like the 2 line. And the 2 line people, they have more than one thing that they're good at, right? Like but people will start to notice them for it and they'll seek them out for it, especially being the 6 line. The more he's shining and just doing his talents, he's just here to just live out his talents, just be himself.
Yes,
that's it.
I think that also speaks so beautifully to Venus in Scorpio on his ascendant point, because Venus does have those qualities of, especially in Scorpio, I'm just going to be myself. Like this, like exuding this air of magnetism
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
beauty and love, but like the love for the depths, that's the scorpionic piece.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why, like,
yeah,
we read
it's
the quotes of him as, like, making dark music for dark times. Like, he's like,
oh
if
my
it's dark right
gosh.
now, I'm gonna descend into that darkness and just, like,
His
fully embody that.
his quotes are actually wild. I'm like
Literally,
of
like,
all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Like is that like such a Sag Mercury
that's true. That's very true.
vibe? And Chiron is also there.
Oh.
Yeah, with his sun and Mercury and his Sag second house. So there's a wounding around that. So
In second house. Interesting.
yes. Yeah.
I also feel like sun in the second house is maybe a celebrity thing, too.
I think so because it's
We
like
saw it with Blake Lively.
yeah, there is the identity and the solar light and purpose intertwined with this physical realm, the
Yeah.
material realm, and it's has a lot to say about self-worth. I have a second house sun.
Okay,
So,
famous.
well, I feel like it's also a journey of self-worth, like which if you do have a second house sun, it is really important for you to feel that sense of belonging and like your connection to self-worth, and that your self-worth isn't what you have in this material realm, because truly this material realm, if we're all being fucking honest, it's just light. It's light and empty particles in space. So it really is about your own perception of your connection to this material realm.
And being in like Sag of the sign of like the philosopher and
Yeah.
the teacher.
And so then it's like he cares about having fun. Like Sag energy loves a good time, humor, joy.
Yeah. I feel like he is just funny himself. Like
exactly.
that's like Sag energy. It's like he's not trying to be funny, but it's like it's hilarious.
Because he values it. It's his deepest value is in your second house. Whatever sign is on your second house will show you what your soul values.
Mine's Capricorn. I value struggling.
You value your legacy.
Building wealth.
Yes. Yeah. You value your business. You value like making money. Like that's
doing it my own way.
Yes.
So Aries. Yeah. Aries second house.
Well, that's just me personally, which we're not going to get into. We're going to keep it on Ozzy.
Keep it Ozzy. Oh no.
On Ozzy. But I loved another thing that feels like so Sag Mercury. He said, to be a liar, you've got to have a great memory, and I don't have a great memory.
You were saying that's like his Mercury in fall.
I also love this. This feels like so Scorpio rising to me. My life was a journey of extremes. From chaos to love, from darkness to light. I'm no saint, but I've always been real. That's sort of like plays off of what you just said.
Yeah.
He, even in the show, was like, I don't care if the cameras are on. I'm just going to be real.
Yeah. He's just like watching TV.
And then
you're like, what are you doing?
And then two other things that he said that for me really spoke to his Saturn and Virgo on his MC in his 11th house. These two things are like, oh yeah, he really in this lifetime understood that cosmic assignment to be a figure of authority for his community. So he says, I have a genuine love affair with my audience. I've never had an empty seat. I've always sold out. So who's saying it's over?
He's like, girl.
So I think that's super cute that he really embraced that. Really, it was a cosmic mission for him in this lifetime to create that audience and yeah, in a way sort of go out on his own too, because he was involved in the band, and then during the Black Sabbath, and then during his Saturn return was when he got kicked out of the band.
From his drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
Scorpio rising.
Scorpio, the extremes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio
I thought he had the gate of extremes, but I didn't check. Let me check. I mean, you can keep going.
Interesting.
That's my main gift in this lifetime is the gate of extremes.
So, going back to his first house, though, and then I do want to talk about Pluto up in his 10th house, but I want to share this about his first house. He has, again, Venus conjunct his ascendant, which is a natural sign of an artist. Venus...
He does have the gate of extremes.
He does. That makes so much fucking sense. He literally says it. The embodiment of the extremes.
And he has a defined G center or identity center, and that rules over like love and pleasure, and he has 4 gene keys in there too, so interesting, the love and pleasure, because that's what it means to have Venus on your ascendant, is to really embody that frequency of love, pleasure, sensuality. But then the scorpionic consciousness, it's the love of the depths, it's the love of the darkness, right? The prince of darkness, and finding the beauty even within the realms of the darkness. And we see that with his life story, right? Like, he went to some very extreme, horrific places in his life. Like, I don't even want to say some of the things that he did on this podcast. What?
But no, it's fucked up. I'm not gonna go there. But
I hate when podcasts do that. And you're like, I'm not gonna say it. I'm like, say it.
Well, you
the gate of extremes,
know.
say it.
You already fucking know. I feel like people listening to this already know.
What? Is it what I already said? About the bat?
No, he did something way fucking worse.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It kind of freaks me out. But I think that's also a Scorpio rising trait, right? Where it's like, wow, that's intense.
Wow. You're like, what do I say besides wow? Just fucking wow.
I mean, so many people obviously love this man because he did build his legacy.
We also had dyslexia, Sag Mercury.
Yes, and we're also going to talk about his ruling planet, Mars and Capricorn exalted. But I wanted to say, too, about his first house.
Oh my god, he was sexually abused.
Yeah.
Damn.
Arrows on his ascendant.
Wow. It says he tried to commit suicide as a teenager, like, multiple times.
Yeah.
Damn.
You didn't know that?
No.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
Like,
I'm reading. I'm still in the early
But that's also the cycle of abuse. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because he clearly was an innocent child at that point.
Yeah. And he stopped going to school at 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Scorpio risings, it's no joke to choose to incarnate as a Scorpio rising. Like, and obviously the layers of trauma and difficulties and challenges, it's going to fucking range, right? Because that's really the journey of this human experience. But
he tattooed his own name on his knuckles. What is more Scorpio rising?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think that's also Venus on his ascendant too.
Making his vessel what he wants it to be.
Exactly. And he probably had a lot of tattoos, right?
He had over 15. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know too much about this man. But I did like the bare minimum research for this. Okay, so he has arrows on his arrows also here on his ascendant, Vesta as well in Scorpio, which is interesting because Vesta is the high priestess. She represents the hearth fire, our devotion, the range between sexual denial and then full sexual expression. So her placement in Scorpio is considered to be domicile because she rules over both Virgo, which is like that's her tending to the fire, doing all the rituals, and then her placement in Scorpio is like the ancient sex priestess because that's essentially what the Vestal temples were back in ancient times. So that's another a place where she has domicile. So that piece is interesting because that suggests that a lot of his lifetime there was a devotion to being in his wholeness, like unapologetic, raw, his full wild self, which we clearly see
his entire life.
Yeah.
He was like, whatever.
Exactly.
But I think after his Saturn return is when he starts to like really get into that.
Yes, but then because of what he experienced as a young person, I'm sure with Vesta in his first house, he did have to go through a whole excavation process of all of the trauma that was buried there from those experiences so that he could have the deeper intimacy that it seems like he clearly had with his wife. I don't know too much about
his second wife, yeah.
His second wife. Yeah, see, I think he was married before, right?
He was, yeah, he had 3 kids.
Yes.
With her name is Thelma. And then because he did too many like drugs and alcohol, he said like he's quoted as saying like it was a big mistake.
And he was abusive to her.
Yeah, and he's said like he doesn't even remember when his children were born.
Yeah.
Like he was just so in the alcohol and the drugs, like just a daze. But Sharon was his manager, and then they got married after.
Okay, we're going to look at their date that they got married coming up here. But I first wanted to say...
And he cheated a lot.
That might also be the arrows here and the love of... Dang. It's interesting. It's like there's a love of sexuality and like erotic energy, but then also layers to unpack here around like places that he's maybe denied within himself and his own expression. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, yeah, because if you experience sexual abuse from bullies at school and you try to commit suicide from that, like, that's intense.
Yeah, that's what
like,
I'm saying.
That's a lot that he must have emotionally gone through to the point where, like, as a teenager, he's like, no other solution besides, like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
He also has South Node Scorpio, which places his South Node in his first house. So I think that piece is interesting because when we have a South Node placement in the first house,
karma.
This also indicates a soul who has a sense of knowing around their gifts, around their identity, around themselves. And so because of that, like deep inner knowing, their growth in this lifetime is to go towards relationship dynamics and be entrenched in that exchange of energy. So I just think it's really interesting that his North Node being in Taurus is conjunct Nessus, who we've talked about here before, the asteroid of poison and power. So this is...
Literally, he kind of understood the assignment, I guess. His soul's being pushed into that.
Yeah, like healing the abusive qualities within relationship dynamics and the violence within relationship dynamics. Like really addressing that.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like it's kind of like... It's like a double-edged sword, I feel, because like he was pushed to like be in the stability of the Taurus, which is why his incarnation cross is all about stability and money.
Interesting.
But he was pushed into that, but then I feel like the kind of like the Nessus being there is like low-key like a curse, you know? It's like you should be like pushing into like stability in relationships, like grounding, like material, like caring for, but then it's like the Nessus here makes it like reactive and intense and abusive and like all those types of things. Like you said he abused his ex, and like he abused drugs. He like constantly bickered and argued and all these things with Sharon. Like it's like you see it on the reality TV show. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of rough. Like they threw him a rough one there with that.
Nessus on the North Node. Yeah, it's like he's literally... His evolution in this lifetime is to really understand this quality of poison and power.
Yeah. And I think though he did kind of by taking, like, it seems like he understood, like, I fucked a lot of shit up because of my my like addictions and things. So it's like he did, I feel like, have a level of understanding and growth. Yeah. But I feel like and the fact that he had that genetic mutation that made him able to continue to abuse the drugs and alcohol more than a normal person could without dying, I feel like was like an even harder test that they kind of like placed on him, you know, because it's like a normal person, if they got to his level, would have OD'd and died. But he didn't. Like, he got the ability to, like, keep living so that he could understand this lesson a little more. Yes. And he, I think, obviously he was really, he helped bring in the, like, metal genre. So it's like he was very revolutionary in the music scene. So I think, like, he was meant to bring things to the world. But now I'm like, was he? Like, maybe because he did all the dabbling in the occult and black magic, I'm like, maybe it wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe we're not supposed to have metal music. I feel like so many people are like, ugh. I love metal music, by the way.
Yeah, no, Josh literally told me, he said, think about it, if there was no Ozzy Osbourne, would there be The Used? And The Used is a band that made a huge impact on my younger self, my inner child. Yeah. Like,
I think like, the quote, the dark music for dark times, I think he was trying to find a way to, like, cope with what the world was becoming. And I think metal music does that for people. Yes. I think so many people find healing and solace. Like, I think in a world that tells you to, like, be proper and be polite and be quiet, and metal music is like, scream, get it out, yell it, say it, you know? Like, I know there's a lot of, like, spiritual people that there's a lot of, like, beliefs around, like, what you ingest even musically can impact your field. And if we're ingesting, like, people see metal as, like, negative, it's, like, harmful, violent, occult, like, screaming, like, cacophonous noises and things, like, people say, like, that can, like, impact your field in a negative way. But I feel that if you've ever been to a metal concert, it is one of the best experiences of your life. It is so healing. Though I think there's something, like, people judge metal concerts for the violence and, like, mosh pits and, like, circle jerks and things like that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like that's, like, some ancient wisdom that, like, if we just get all of our aggressions out in a consensual way, like, if you jump into the pit, I mean, obviously there's some non-consensual ones, like Wall of Death, where you just, like, randomly get caught in the middle and you're fucked.
But they do it consensually. They'll say, if you don't want to be in the Wall of Death, get out, get the fuck out.
So it is consensual. So it's like, if you don't want to be part of it, you don't have to be. And I feel like there's something so healing about that, where it's like, look, I'm just gonna punch you in the face and, like, no beef, like, I just need to get this out. Like,
well, I feel like actually people that are into emo music, metal music, are some of the most kind-hearted people.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yes.
Because they let it out.
Exactly. So I actually feel like you are safe in those environments.
Yeah. No, I do. But I'm saying, like, we consent to say, I'm going to get the demons out in this so I can be fine. So I can be nice. Like, everyone always judges, like, metal people. And it's like, if you're in a crisis, ask that person, because they're gonna be down to help you. And it's true. Like, I was in like a mosh pit, and, like, I fell down, and, like, 5 people grabbed me and picked me up immediately. So it's like, I'm not saying it's all, like,
I've had that experience too.
But, like, you do get punched in the face. So it's like it's a risk for sure.
What I don't like is when people do the crowd surfing. That is so sketch. Like, I'm like, dipping. I
know.
I don't want your foot to hit my face.
Yes. Like, I've had that where this guy came in and it's like, I'm not strong enough to hold you up.
Like, no. No.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The last punk show I went to, Jack K's, somebody literally got her neck, like, broken. Like, I saw on his page afterward, he took a picture with her. I'm like, that was the moment Josh was like, oh, they're crowd surfing. He's like, let's go over here.
He was like, I don't want any part of this.
I'm tiny.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But the mosh pits are different. I feel like the mosh pits, people are respectful of their strength, especially because there are so many people that are there, like you said, to get out that like the angst, and people that are like tiny like me also go in there. So
I know it's really rough. Like I can't. I'm always like, should I wear platforms? And then I'm like, maybe that will make me less stable, and I might like twist my ankle. Like there's so many like things I have to think about. I'm like, is it worth it to like be like staring at people's backs, you know, or like maybe twist my ankle?
Yeah,
because like there's a lot of people and you could get lost in the sauce. They're all like giant men like running around and stuff, and you're just like, okay. But I remember I was on the outside of one mosh pit, and this one guy, you know, you get like a rhythm. This one guy was like throwing himself into like the edge to get thrown back, and every time he came around he would always throw himself at me. And I was like, because it's like the cycle, like you just kind of like stop at the same spots. Like he wasn't like aware of it, and I got fucking pissed, and I pushed him like super hard, and he like stopped moshing, and he like looked at me, and I was like, fucking goddamn, bro. And so like he went around me.
Yeah. I don't like when especially women are petty at shows of like trying to like push their elbows in your face. I've worn that jacket I have over there that has like metal beads all over it just to fucking be like,
get away.
Yes, this is my fucking space.
Yeah.
Fuck off, which is Ozzy Osbourne. Fuck off.
Literally. That's why I love metal. It's like it gives you this, it connects you to the primal sacred rage that like so many cultures like don't allow us to feel anymore.
Yes. It's something that it captured my little heart. Yeah. Like when I was a young person.
I feel like when you experience like hardness from the world, it helps you.
Exactly.
Which is the dark music for dark times.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, which you saw when you looked at my soul being like a water frequency, I just hold so much sadness, especially for the state of the world. And I think
the water signs are just fucked right now.
And that Ozzy too, being a Scorpio rising,
like he's commented on political stuff. Like he thought it was like stupid how Donald Trump handled COVID. He thought it was crazy that like the war in Afghanistan, like just sending people to die and then going to hang out with celebrities, because he went to the White House to hang out with Bush, and he was just like, it's fucking weird. Why are people doing this? Like there's literally Americans dying on your behalf, and you're just gonna have a dinner with a celebrity. Yeah. Like weird. Yeah. So he did feel it.
That's the Scorpionic, like raw, unapologetic.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Well, and Sag too. Sag Mercury is blunt, super. Like my grandpa was a Sag Mercury and a Scorpio Sun, and like he would be able to call you out. You know, like he would pop off at like, I don't know if this is like a particular thing to like Jewish New Yorkers, but like he would be talking to him and he'd be like, what are you talking? You know, like he would just like like and just be like annoyed and then like be done. Yeah. And I would be like, oh, what? And like people wouldn't get his humor either. Yeah. They would think that like he was like mad at them and he was just like messing around with them.
Yeah, that makes sense to where I feel like Ozzy had a lot of people misunderstand him and be like, what did you just, like, literally, what did you just say? Yeah. Because I think about, like, and people are like, wait, what?
Yeah, especially with, like, a British accent. Yeah. People are always like, huh?
I do want to go back to the genetic anomaly. Yes.
Because you can see that in his chart.
Something that really struck me is that he, as a Scorpio rising, if this is true, his ruling planet would then be Mars, the god of war, action, motivation. And he has Mars also in Capricorn, which we were talking about, the Capricorn moon, right? But Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn because here we have the capacity to execute. It's not just ideas floating around in the ethers. Capricorn grounds it and says, let's go, especially for him in his expression being a Capricorn Mars in the third house. So that already inherently gives him a strong ass fucking drive, a strong body. Here's the kicker though. he has Jupiter, who is considered to be in fall in the sign of Capricorn, because Jupiter exalts in the sign of Cancer, opposite to that Capricorn, which is where he has his Jupiter placement. So Jupiter is excess. Jupiter is overflow, overabundance, and we see that with the way he treated his body, but then his body had that Capricorn strength to just keep fucking going,
to just push through. That's why he was like, I would do drugs all day every day. He was like locked in his hotel room for like 3 months or something, just doing drugs.
That's the Jupiter overflow abundance with the physical body.
And then the Nessus in his north node,
but it also is what made his voice, his expression, his drive to put his voice out there so big too, that Jupiter consciousness really blowing up his drive
in the third house of communication.
So that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's like wild right there, the conjunction.
Yeah, that to me just felt like, oh, his body was able to withstand, and his body actually at some points wanted that feeling. And I'm sure he, even after the substance abuse, he found ways to fulfill that feeling of like wanting that bigness, that vastness, that like overflow, expansive energy that Jupiter provided and does provide in his body some way. And I feel like as a soul, he was very psychic. Scorpio risings in general are psychic in a way that is sharp, like that scorpionic sting. And then another placement that suggests his psychic quality is Neptune in the 12th house. That's hella psychic. So I am wondering how he then navigated, because again, I don't know too much about his life, but how he navigated from the abuse of the substances and what then was filled from that. Was it just his relationship dynamics by him following his North Node? Like, was it just the fulfillment of the love within his human connections? Was it, like, the Taurus, like, something to do with food or maybe other substances that weren't drugs, right? Like, having things to calm the nervous system. I don't know, but I feel like his body still wanted that feeling of bigness, vastness, overflow, expansive quality.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, what was the reason why he became clean. I know he said, like, he fucked up his marriage because of his abuse. Yeah. So I'm sure that weighed really heavy on him, his first marriage, and, like, his children from his first marriage basically said, like, he wasn't really a good father. So I'm sure that weighed heavy on him as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm trying to see, like, and it says in 2013 he resumed smoking, drinking, and doing drugs for the past year and a half. So in 2012, he started that. He said he was in a very bad place. But yeah, I'm going to see, like, and he also had health problems. He would get, like, tremors, and then he had Parkinson's because of his substance abuse. He had dyslexia and ADHD, and then he had, like, upper respiratory stuff at, like, the end of his life. But yeah, I'm going to see, like, I'm going to Google, like, what was the catalyst for his sobriety.
Yes. And, like, how did he fulfill the absence of that? Because I feel like his soul, just seeing this, there is a quality of his soul for wanting that deeper connection. Son. The family. I had a feeling. I was like, what is it? It's his son gave him an ultimatum. Yeah.
It says in an interview he shared that his son was the primary catalyst for his lasting sobriety. He had a confrontation who said, what about a father? Like, where are you? You know, like, where's my father? And he had, like, this, like, real realization moment of, like, his kids needed him as a father more than, like, money, more than a home that he could give them. So he needed to, like, clean up his act and be present for them, because he's so, like, aware that, like, he bit the head off of a dove in like a boardroom meeting because he was intoxicated, and he brought the doves to release as a sign of peace, which goes with his angel, and then because he was so intoxicated, he just bit it off. So it's like he's very aware that like while he was intoxicated, he's just like he wasn't present. He was doing a bunch of shit. He's not aware. He's not tapped in at all. And maybe who knows? Maybe I know he had intense abuse in early life, but you were saying like the 8th house placements that he has making him psychic, or what was his Neptune placement?
His
that made
Neptune
him
in the 12th house, so psychic. But he also has Uranus at 29 degrees in his 8th house. Which, that's also hella psychic.
Yeah, and I wonder if like maybe he medicated to like avoid that or to feel it more, right? Like, because it's like it seems like he took drugs to the point of excess, so it doesn't feel like he's taking it to like have like a psychedelic type, you know, journey, but it's more like just to like fucking lose
his
consciousness.
His body wants that feeling of that fullness, that like the expansive Jupiterian so but you know, if he was able to fulfill that with the love of family, the love of relationship dynamics, because that love can be just as vast,
he said he self-medicated because he didn't like the way that he felt. Yeah, because Jupiter on your body, Jupiter on Mars, can be also an overwhelming feeling. It's a blessing, but it's also, it can be a lot on your physical body. Interesting. He even got into a accident from not being sober and was in a coma for 8 days. He's like, I should have been dead like a bajillion times, bro. He's like quoted as saying.
That's that 29 degree Uranus though.
And Sharon, it says Sharon worked so hard to get him to be sober.
Yes. The relationship.
Yeah, she made his life so difficult that he had to change. Like, she just, like, forced him to do it. She was the first one to convince him to go to rehab. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really prominent about him being the Prince of Darkness, this man has Pluto in Leo in his 10th house. Like, what more... Prince of Darkness vibes can you get?
Yeah. The sign of the performer with the planet of the underworld.
Right?
And the occult and transformation and life and death. Like.
And we see his transformation throughout his career, right? Like, he started with the band, then he got kicked out of the band, he did his own thing, then he did his TV
he was like
show.
A tool maker, and then he became part of, you know, it's like very, very different.
Yeah, if you have Pluto in your 10th house, you are meant to move through transformation within your career.
Yeah. And he had to with his sobriety, right? It's like that kicked him out of one band, and then he had to step into his solo. And it also, because I know you were asking about like the addiction, it says like he felt that his drugs and alcohol were necessary for his creativity. That like if he wasn't under the influence, then he wouldn't be like good. He wouldn't be talented. So
that's Ozzy, respectfully, like
go, let's tell him he's in spirit. He can hear
it. Like what the fuck? You had Venus on your ascendant,
and
you
Eros,
are literally
to be
the
honest.
Embodiment of the artist.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't know his astrology. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say the South Node. I've seen South Node in the first house as like you're carrying a lot of karma from your past life in your body and in your life in this lifetime that you like. My partner Frankie has that.
Josh has that too.
And he was born with like a weird foot that had to like, it was like his foot was like twisted when it was born, and then he was born with like the jaw stuff and the allergies. Like he has like physically a lot of signs from, and he had like a mole that he had to get removed on his hand.
Yeah,
like he was born with like a lot of things that like, I guess I'm assuming were gifts or curses, whatever you want to call it, from his past lives.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that, because it's like, yes, you as a soul, you've spent all these lifetimes understanding your identity and yourself and knowing those gifts, but that also does come inherently with the karma that's there. to heal. And that's why the North Node in the 7th house, reaching out for support and building those relationship dynamics is essential to help you see what still needs to be healed. So,
I mean, if you can see it, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know
but
that
that's
Ozzy
why
saw it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The 7th house with the North Node,
yeah,
having other people as mirrors to reflect back to you.
Yeah, but like it seems that like the sobriety was the main thing that his family. I don't know. Like like there's a lot of other things that he did that I don't know if they were able to get him to see it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because like he said, he was a man of extremes. So
yeah.
The other thing interesting about his Pluto placement is that it's in a wide orb conjunction to Ceres, the mother goddess. And I think that that's so interesting because his career was so tied to him being a father. Like, Ceres is the mother goddess, the parent.
And his legacy, for sure. They were like, stop doing this, otherwise we won't have a father.
And, like, a whole show on his family.
Well, part of his family, yeah.
Exactly. Like, that's so giving, like, Ceres in the 10th house. Okay, let's talk about some of his transits.
It says that for the sobriety, just because I want to answer your question, he did professional help, family support, 12-step program. He threw himself into his music, and he enjoyed hobbies like air rifles.
Interesting. Yeah, that's how I was feeling intuitively, though. Like, it felt like he...
And he just struggled his whole life with it, so it's not like he fully was like, now I'm sober, you know?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But it's interesting, the destructive, like the air rifles, I feel like that there's a comfort in that with the Scorpio South Node.
Yeah, and he said, he's quoted as saying he no longer wanted to kill anything and become kind of soft in his old age, so that's why maybe he used the air rifles.
But then it's like, a Scorpio South Node, like, there is a comfort within the realms of destruction. Like, it's what your soul knows. Yeah, like, if you have a South Node in Scorpio, you've spent many lifetimes within those realms of chaos, destruction, the extremes, like the depths, the shadows, the taboo, the mysteries, the occults.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that would be a source of comfort to help ease his physical body and give him that sense of, like, the expansiveness, the fullness, like Jupiter on his Mars.
And, like, his body to digest and take in stuff needs high sound and music environments. It's like being in those environments a lot probably helped him operate at his maximum level and helped him like regulate his nervous system by doing a lot with music. And then he has outer vision, which is like you're supposed to, it's Venus, I have to sneeze, sorry.
Bless you.
I think there's another one. But having his Venus in his first house, that is like outer vision as fuck, because you're supposed to, like, your body is impacted by your surroundings, like how beautifully aesthetic and like how much you like them, like the smell, the temperature, the lighting, like I have a client who, like, she has outer vision, she like designs her clothes and pays someone to like sew them for her because she only wants to wear like things that she creates. She like painted like her whole entire house like a mural and stuff, and like made it her like sanctuary. So it's like he was really into like the Venus Scorpio outer vision of like darkness. He embodied that. He like tattooed himself. Like that's very, very, very outer vision. Yeah, and like he has kitchens environments, so it's like they like to be in creative hubs, communal places where people are all like putting in ideas and cultures, and that's music, concerts, festival, you know, like it's like, so the creativity is really important for kitchens people.
I love that.
So those are like ways that he probably like helped regulate his body too, you know.
Yes, I feel like that was something that came natural to him, and maybe the second house sun is where some of that doubt crept in of like, am I actually creative without the substance?
And also the abuse probably from early life too, right?
Yeah.
Like, because he started doing substances like really young.
Yes.
So it's like he hadn't really known too much without it. So he probably just like attributed that naturally. Like, oh, well, he was probably like more tapped in creatively when he was doing the substances and thought, oh, this is the way that I get my creativity, as opposed to like, no, it just helps you tap into what you already have because of all the shit that you have going on in your life and in your body. It's not the only way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, you know, we're professional yappers. That's why we have a podcast. Yes. So sometimes that means that the episode goes on for like over 2 hours.
So, a lot of times it means that. So
even the Alexa agrees. Yeah, so we decided to cut this episode into 2 halves, pausing it here, and we'll pick up right where we leave off next week. And
so come back and listen to the rest of the episode next week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Celestial Tea Podcast. If you enjoyed our hot takes and breakdowns, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you stream, share with your friends and fam, and follow us on all the socials.
Let us know if there is a pop culture icon or a phenomenon that you want us to look at next.
Tune in next week for another piping hot cup of celestial tea.
Cute.